Hi, I'm going to give you an example of how you can adapt Superkids to a virtual learning environment. This is going to be a first grade lesson, and it's from Unit 1, Lesson 7. Remember that when we are delivering Superkids, it needs to be synchronous because it is our foundational language skills. It's the most important part of your literacy block, and it does require direct, explicit instruction with the teacher guided practice. So this and your small group time with your decodable text are going to be the most important parts of your literacy block to make sure you have that synchronous time so your students are learning to decode. Let's go ahead and get started. So I have the portal pulled up, the teacher portal, and I already have my Unit 1, Lesson 7 ready to go. I already did a sample video of the daily routine, so we're not going to hit that. If you have to split those two apart, then that's okay. It's not ideal, but for distance learning, we have to do what we can do. And it is supposed to be a 40-minute block in all. So if you can take the daily routine out and spend 10 minutes on that, then you have another synchronous time that you can do your follow the stars. Notice that these are the stars, 1, 2. Every lesson has the follow the stars. If you look in your teacher book, the daily routine always has a sun, and then the follow the stars to teach the rest of the lesson are here. And that should all be direct, explicit instruction. So we're going to do a warm-up reading of Edebetta's Radish Patch and read the decodable poem, Edebetta's Radish Patch. Now, the thing is that your students should really know Edebetta before they do this, and since we just had the adoption this year, they might not be as familiar with the Superkids as they would be if they had had it in kindergarten. So one thing you can do is start the lesson, go into the materials, scroll down, and you'll see the song animations. You can start with the song animation to give them a little background. So, oh, here she is. Here's the animation. We'll go ahead and play that.
Hello, my name is Edebetta. That starts with E, a brand new letter. If you say my name a couple of times, you'll see it's fun because it rhymes. Edebetta, 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 boo. I'm just crazy about rhyming names and secret codes and riddles and puzzles and games. Yesterday, I got a big surprise.
We'll stop it there, but that would be a great way to start your lesson with your kids and have them listen to how her name rhymes, because we are doing a rhyming decodable text today. And then I would jump back to the, oh, I thought I had it open. I'll show you how to get there. So then what you want to do is go back to lessons, and down here you can click on the warm-up list. In front of your students, they should have their skills book every time they come to Superkids, to the phonics block lesson. Make sure they have their skills book or pages from their skills book. It's really important that they're not doing every single thing on a screen. They need to be building those fine motor skills, gross motor skills, handwriting in first grade. A big part of that is just practicing it and doing it. And if they don't have paper to write on, they're not practicing handwriting. You'll get new workbooks next year. There's black and white masters. If somebody loses their workbook, it's really not the end of the world. We can make copies. And also, while I'm saying that, the decodable readers should go home too. So anytime you're doing any Superkids lesson, I'm just happening to do this one today, but they should have their skills book or their decodable, depending on which lesson you're on, in front of them, and a pencil, and be ready to learn. So I would have the students have their workbook open, ready on Edebetta's Radish Patch, and they're ready to go. Okay, boys and girls, now we're ready to read. I know that you have your book open to our poem that we're going to read today, Edebetta's Radish Patch. Edebetta is our friend that we just listened to the song. And what's fun about her name is that it rhymes. Can you say Etta Betta and listen for the rhyme? Etta Betta, Etta Betta. It rhymes. I mean, remember that rhyming words end the same. In our poem, Etta Betta's Radish Patch, we're going to read a little bit about Etta Betta and her radish patch. Be thinking what you think a radish patch is, and we'll get right back to that. Let's go ahead and take a look at our reading warm-up list. These words are going to be found in your poem, Etta Betta's Radish Patch. So the very first column is all the shh words. Can you tell me what that diagraph says? Shh. Good. Put your lips really close to the screen so I can see you say this sound. What does CH say? Ch. Ch. As in chick. Ch. Ch. How about this digraph? TCH says ch. Ch. Good. As in catch. Let's go ahead and zoom in on these SH words. I'm going to show you the word on my board because it's such a long word. It's 2 syllables. So we want to break it into word parts. But before we sound it out, this O in this word, it doesn't say its normal sound. Because there's a V there, it would usually say ah. But it doesn't say ah. It says it's schwa sound. You might remember from learning the word the that sometimes a vowel can be a schwa sound. Let's figure out what the schwa sound is in the. The, the, The E in the says because it's a schwa. That's our lazy schwa sound. We see sometimes in words when the vowel doesn't say the right sound, it actually says So that's a good trick to know. If your vowel doesn't sound right, try the schwa sound. Can you make that sound for me? Very good. So now we're going to take that schwa sound and we're going to make that O say that sound. Tell me the sound again. Good. Let's go ahead and say these sounds slowly. Shh. Of. This part says shove. Very good. Let's do this part slowly. L. L. Put it together. Shovel. Shovel. Good. Shovel. It is the word shovel. Go ahead and look on your picture of Etta Betta's Radish Patch. Can you see a shovel? There it is. And here's the word shovel. Etta Betta has a shovel. I wonder what she's digging with her shovel. Can you show me digging with your shovel? Good digging. Let's look at the next word. This is also a word that has 2 syllables, but this one's much easier to sound out. I'm still going to write it in 2 parts so you can see the 2 word parts. Let's look at the first word part. Say it slow. Good. Rad. Say it slow. Ish. Put it together. Radish. The word is radish. Very good. That's the word radish. Does anyone know what a radish is? Give me a thumbs up if you've ever eaten a radish. If you don't know what a radish is, I bet you could find it because Etta Betta has a radish patch. Look on your poem. Can you see she's holding a bunch of radishes? Point to the radishes. Radishes are small, round, red vegetables, and they're hard. They grow underground. They're crunchy like carrots, and they're root vegetables like carrots. And that's what she's holding, red radishes. Today, we're going to be reading about Etta Betta growing radishes in her radish patch. Let's look at the ch words. Ch. Ready to read? Make sure you're unmuted so I can hear you. Ready? Bunch. Good. Read it slow and then fast. Ready? Munch. Good. Bunch, munch. They rhyme. I bet those are part of the rhyming words in our poem. Okay, when you're done, let's look at going through the words that they need to know, then you can go right back into the text, and they should still have it in front of them. They're ready to go. And on the second day of the week, we start with a fluency passage in first grade. It's in the Superkids book. It's always like this. You do some word warm up and then go into the fluency lesson. So it's going to be a lot of guided practice and modeling, and then giving kids turns to unmute themselves and read to you. So how I would do this is have them start by following along with you, and you're modeling good reading and the fluency, and then they're finding rhyming words. So we'll go ahead and walk through this portion of it too. Boys and girls, we're ready to read about Etta Betta's Radish Patch. Can you put your finger on the title and be ready to read with me? Etta Betta's Radish Patch. Oops. Etta Betta's Radish Patch. I got a pack of radish seeds and held it in my hand. I got a big, big shovel and I dug a bit of land. As you're doing this, be cognizant of even pulling in what we have planned for comprehension in first grade. These things should be tied together. And you probably won't have time in distance learning to do a whole separate mini lesson on comprehension. So we're gonna be overlapping those skills. Remember that our foundational skills are the most important things in first grade. So you can find places to add in the comprehension tweaks to places like this in phonics when you're doing your small group reading with decodables. So at this time, after we've done a single read, what we're working on in Unit 2 of comprehension in first grade is we're working on fiction, right? Elements of fiction, characters, plot, this beginning, middle, and end. So you could ask some probing questions here to get those comprehension skills taught within your phonics lesson instead of doing something completely separate. So then I could ask students to, what happened at the beginning of the story? What did Etta Betta do with her seeds? And have them unmute. Then what did she do? Next, what happened? And kind of probe them to retell, and even call on a student or two to practice their oral language skills and do retelling at that point. And then we want to move into the rhythm of the poem, and we started with poetry in first grade, so we can say, remember, we've been working on poetry, and when we read poetry, we read it with rhythm. And so when we're reading with rhythm, we're going to really pay attention to those rhyming words. So get your pencil ready, and we're going to find the rhyming words. So follow along with me and listen for those rhyming words. I got a pack of radish seeds and held it in my hand. I got a big, big shovel and I dug a bit of land. Find your rhyming words. Good. Unmute yourself and tell me what words rhymed in the first stanza. Hand rhymes with land. Very good. And then we go to the next stanza and continue that. So you want to build their rhythm, have them understand the flow and the fluency, how it sounds. Then you can move more into the we do part, and you could even have them read one stanza at a time. Maybe choose 2 or 3 students. We're going to read the first stanza together. Can I have so-and-so and so-and-so read this with me? So it's the teacher guided practice piece. And then do the same for the next stanza until you get all the students to help you read it. And then you could have volunteers read or have students read independently. And I wouldn't have anyone do it if they weren't comfortable in volunteering, especially on their own. But then you can always pull this into small group on a Tuesday or a Wednesday before the decodable reader is introduced that week. And you can use this as text in your small group reading and then just embed the comprehension skills, embed the phonics skills, embed the memory words from the week. And that would be what your small group time would look like. So I hope that this helps. I have really been hoping that teachers will reach out and share some more videos. We have a new Google Classroom site, a new Google Classroom for Superkids, and we're hoping that more and more teachers will share what they're doing in distance learning, because I know we're all learning together right now, and the more sample videos we have, the better we can support each other in this process. So please reach out with questions, let me know how things are going, and we want Superkids to be a success, so let's share what's working with all the other teachers in our district. Thanks, everyone.